Okay, hey guys, we're going to be going over a couple of parametric problems today. So let's look at example 1. It says, the position of a particle in the xy plane is given by 4t squared comma root t. And we know that this is a vector because of the less than and greater than signs. And in part A, it says, find the velocity and acceleration vectors. So what we have to do is we have to remember that v of t, which is the velocity, is the derivative of the position. And the acceleration is the derivative of the velocity. So, find the velocity vector first. So what we have to do is take the derivative of this and this. So the derivative of 4t squared is 8t, right? And the derivative of root t, well, root t is the same thing as t to the 1/2. And the derivative of this is 1/2 t to the negative 1/2. So that's the velocity vector. Now let's find the acceleration vector. So acceleration is the derivative of the velocity, right? So we have to find the derivative of each of these. So the derivative of 8t is 8. Derivative of 1/2 t to the negative 1/2. Well, you multiply the constant by the power, negative 1/4 t, and then you subtract 1 from the power, so you get negative 3/2. Right, so we're done with part A. Now for part B, it says find the velocity and acceleration vectors at time t equals 4. So we found the velocity and acceleration vector equations. And now it says at time t equals 4. So what we have to do is plug in 4 into each of our velocity and acceleration vectors. So v of 4 so when you plug in 4 into 8t, you get 32. And when you plug in 4 into 1/2 t to the negative 1/2, so we can write this as 1 over 2 root t. So when you plug in 4 in here, you get 1 over 2 root 4, which is the same thing as 1 over 2 times 2, which is 1/4. So we found the velocity vector at time t equals 4, now let's find the acceleration vector. So this 8 stays the same. Now when we plug in 4 into here, well, let's rewrite this as negative 1 over 4 root t cubed. So when you plug in 4 into here, you're going to get negative 1 over 4, and 4 cubed, well, 4 cubed is 64, right? And then the square root of 64 is 8. You're going to get 1 over 4 times 8, which is 32. So that is our velocity and acceleration vectors at time t equals 4.